Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Jimmy. Thank you for joining me today. I'm here at the SB900 by Seoul in the middle of the living room. And I'm shooting like this because most likely in this very candid situation, you will be having it in your living room as well. And sure, it's not very pretty right now. It's very cluttered, but that's life. The reason why I've waited this long to do a review on this bike, an updated review, is because you can't make a review on something like this without having used it for a long period of time. So I'm qualified to make an unbiased, unsponsored review. I don't owe anyone any sort of opinions. I can give you my honest opinion. And my honest opinion is the SB900 was worth the money for me. And I recommend it for you if you're looking to invest close to $1,000, I think, for a stationary bike like this. Now, if you're looking for a different type of machine, I don't know about those. I just know about this one. It is very sturdy, it's very quiet, and it works well. And if you don't abuse it, it'll last you a really long time. So that's the long story made short here. I do recommend it, even for the price. In fact, if I were to buy it again right now, perhaps it's just because I'm used to it, I would buy this again. I would not buy it with the $100 option though of the magnetic brake. I think I added on here. I don't even know what it was. I just bought it because I thought I needed the extra option. You don't need that, because when you're using a bike, you're not actually going downhill. You're not going to lose control of your limbs, okay? I've never even pushed this brake before. I'm going to do it right now. That's the first time I've ever used it. You don't need it. So you can save 98 bucks right there. As far as the adjustments go, I'm not sure if you can see it right now, but there are notches here where you can switch between users and kind of adjust it back to the way you want it. As long as you take note of what number your handlebars are set at, it can adjust this way, up and down. Your seat can go back and forth as well as up and down. So every parameter you can think of, this bike can adjust to your preferences on that particular day. Let's talk about the assembly here. As I mentioned, it's very sturdy. The middle part here all comes pre-assembled. You don't touch a hand on that other than to put the sturdy feet on, the stability poles, and the handlebars and the seat. So that's pretty much all you're putting together. And this calorie counter, which we'll get into in a second. This thing stinks, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. Now, I've gotten some questions from people who are like, oh, I'm the Hulk and I weigh 5,000 pounds and I can lift the Empire State Building over my head. Will this bike support me? Honestly, probably, but I don't know. Go to a fitness store and try a bike there. If you haven't tried a spinning class, I recommend doing that first, actually, no matter who you are, okay? Because that's going to be very similar to this. But truth be told, you're not going to be pushing really hard every single time. I've never went to the max with this thing. That's not how you use a spinning bike, in my opinion. You're going to have it challenging to slightly, and you're going to go for the distance when it comes to a spinning bike. That's how I use it. And in 10 minutes, I'm sweating like a pig. So this thing serves my purpose very well. And if you're way too strong for this piece of machinery, you should probably be out saving the world, in my opinion. What are you doing working out? So this is a great piece of machinery that can accommodate a wide spectrum of fitness seekers, I think. So this is great, and it'll suit you just fine, regardless of your weight or your height. This can accommodate all of that. The sound, that's very important to me. If someone's sleeping perhaps in the next room, you don't want to hear a grinding noise, which you get from other fitness bikes. This is a spinning bike, so it's very quiet and smooth in operation. The loudest thing that you might run into is the TV playing. I like to use YouTube videos. There's plenty of instructors that have free videos that you can play with, ride to, and it's very motivational. So you don't necessarily need the Peloton screen, in my opinion. But, props to them though for disrupting the fitness industry. They've taken something that was old and antiquated here, the fitness bike, and made it cool and exciting, and with their fancy marketing. Do you need all that? Not in my opinion. That's just me though. I'm not saying it's not a fine machine. The Bowflex is not great. They are very good, but they're very expensive. I just use a TV here, put on some free YouTube videos, and I'm off. And I'm sweating in about 10 minutes if you do it right. You can also put it on low resistance and just be leisurely about it and just ride at your difficulty, whatever it may be, and just get a light sweat going. Anything's better than nothing. I also like to incorporate other workouts with the bike. So I'm on for 5 minutes, I get off and I do some push-ups, I'm back on and finish out the workout that way, all while the whatever video is on. Sometimes I ride a bike to a video that's not even an instructor riding a bike. So you can do that as well. Or you can run outside for a mile or walk a little bit and come back and do a 10-minute finisher on the bike. You guys see what I'm saying? I use it not necessarily as a spinning class. I can also use it to add in variety to my everyday workouts. Every day is a stretch, maybe every other day workouts if I use it. And I don't use it every day, but I use it when I can every week, and I think it serves me well. I've moved with it from one apartment to another. I was concerned about how heavy it would be, which it is, but it's in a new apartment and it works just fine. Let's talk about the pedals here. And while I have you here, let me just turn this. I mean, it's super quiet. I'm turning the pedals right now. The pedals are that cage system for professional bikers and cyclists where you can lock in with your shoe. I don't use those shoes. I use regular cross trainer shoes because cross trainers have a thicker rubber sole that prevents that metal cage from digging into the bottom of my foot. By the way, if you're going to put your foot into it like I do, the balls of your feet, right, should be where the cage is. Your middle of your foot should not line up with the cage. Some people think that we should shove your foot all the way in, and that's not the case. That's just how I ride. But that was a habit that's hard to change. If you have the special shoes, use those. If you want to interchange between those and cross trainers, you can flip the cage over and use that strap system. I don't strap it tight every time, but you can. Let's talk about this calorie counter. This thing stinks. I don't know what they were thinking. This is the biggest drawback of this whole thing. And it's so sad because they spent so much time and money designing this machine, and then this piece of crap they stick on there is an insult. It's so weird. You look at it, you can't see the values of how long you've been on there or the calories you've burned or the distance you've went. You have to look at it at an angle like this. And no, not all bikes are like this. The ones I've used, like if you look at it like a display, like it should be, you should be able to see the numbers. It's so bizarre that it's like this. And no, it's not low on batteries either. It's just the way it's designed, which is terribly. I should have thrown that thing out. I never use it. What do I use to monitor myself? I use a chest heart rate monitor and by Wahoo. And it's a heart rate monitor that measures very accurate readings of how hard you're working and the calories burned. I think on the Wahoo thing it also measures the distance somehow, which I don't use that for. I use it strictly for calories and timing. But when you're watching a YouTube video on your TV, there's a time on there too, right? If it's a 25-minute video, you've been working out for 20, 25 minutes. So you can do that too. Just a note about that heart rate monitor. If you don't use one when you work out, you definitely need to get one. You can get one from Polar, Wahoo, whatever it may be. One that goes across your chest is the best one. We'll go over that in another video. You want to soak it before you use it. That's the main problem people run into. I might have saved you some agony there. And I guarantee you won't do another workout without it. It's just, it makes it more engaging to know and keep yourself accountable when you know how many calories you're burning and how long you've been working out, rather than just mindlessly working out for no reason. Okay? That's my tip to you. Without the bells and whistles, it still makes it a really great bike. Why? Because no matter how many bells and whistles, how many screens they put on, you guys know what I'm about to say, it's not going to make you more fit. It might be cool to have in your house. It might be a novelty thing to try out once in a while. But let's face it, if you're not motivated to work out, no matter how much money you stick on this thing, it's not going to help you. So having said that, do you even really need a bike? Do you even need this bike? No, you just need a YouTube video, someone to yell at you, do a few push-ups every day, watch your diet, you're good to go. But if you want to have a bike, this is the one I recommend. It's just high enough of investment to keep you engaged and to keep you accountable, and it'll last you the years that you have it, and it's quiet and a joy to use. And it's not too high where you feel bad about not using it all the time and you know you're not getting the most out of it. This is the right price point for me, and the bells and whistles that don't come with it, you can get around it by using a heart rate monitor and your regular TV and some Bluetooth headphones that hook up to your iPad, for example. Okay, I hope this helps you, gives you some insight to the SB900 and my feelings about it. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.